The topics that I am going to explain are multi-component system profit and low-cost business design profit. In business, profitability often comes from more than just the main product. Most industries can be broken down into two parts, the base components and the profit components. The base component usually runs on low margins. Its role is not to generate big profits but to build brand presence and drive scale in the mass market. Think of it as the entry point that gets customers into the system. On the other hand, the profit components are where companies make their real money. These are high margin areas such as services, accessories, financing, or special distribution channels. For example, in the soft drinks industry, selling through groceries gives very low margin, but when the same drink is sold through fountains or vending machines, the margins are way higher. Similarly, in personal computers, the hardware box itself is low margin, but accessories, options, and financing brings in significant profits. The key principle here is simple. The base builds the reach while the profit components ensure profitability. Companies that design their strategies around this balance can capture both scale and sustainable returns. We would understand why this multi-component system matters. So the profitability in most industries depends on how well a company maximizes its high margin components. The base or low margin side, it's still important. It keeps the brand visible and ensures scale, but the real focus has to be on the profit components. Take Coca-Cola for example. It sells heavily through grocery stores to maintain presence, but most of its profits come from fountain sales and vending machines. Starbucks works the same way. Grocery sales just help them break even, but cafes and kiosks generate the real margins. Even in the car industry, selling cars alone isn't very profitable. The bigger money comes from financing, insurance, and after sales service. The lesson is clear: winning companies build business models that strike the right balance. They use the low margin base for reach while aggressively leveraging high margin components to drive profitability. An example of Reliance Jio to explain this. So, Reliance Jio is a great example of how a multi component profit model works in practice. When Jio entered the telecom market, it disrupted the industry by offering ultra cheap 4G data and free voice calls. This low or even break even component wasn't designed to make money, it was designed to attract millions of users quickly and build massive market adoption. But the real profit don't come from the cheap data. Geo has layered on premium, high margin components. For example, Geo Fiber provides broadband services with higher ARPU by bundling OTT apps. Through Geo's platforms, they have built an entire digital ecosystem from apps and cloud to fintech, GeoMart, and Geo7, which brings in recurring profitable revenue streams. And on the enterprise side, Geo is monetizing B2B customers through LOT, cloud, and edge computing solutions. The core idea here is simple. Geo uses low cost telecom as a hook to scale rapidly, but the profitability comes from the premium services that sits on the top of that base. This combination ensures not just reach but also sustainable profits. So the next topic is low cost business design profit. It is all about competing in a fundamentally different way. Instead of relying on experience, scale, or tradition, these companies create a business model that is structurally cheaper, making the traditional cumulative advantages of incumbents irrelevant. Take Nucor Steel for example. While traditional integrated steel mills had decades of experience and scale, Nucor adopted the mini mill model, which was far more efficient and less capital intensive, and it consistently outperformed the big players. And airlines Southwest disrupted the industry by moving away from the expensive hub and spoke system to a simple point to point model with faster turnarounds and no frills. They kept costs low and passed the savings to customers while still staying profitable. Similarly, Dell transformed personal computer sales. Instead of relying on distributor and retailers, Dell went D2C. This eliminated middlemen, reduced inventory costs, and allowed them to customize products, again lowering cost while increasing value. The key insight here is that low cost design can consistently beat incumbents, even those with more experience. On the flip side, no matter how much experience a company has, if it is tied to the wrong model, it can't sustain profitability. So the big lesson is success isn't just about size or history. It's about designing the right cost structure for the long-term advantage. Let's take the example of IKEA to explain the low-cost business design profit model. So IKEA is one of the best real-world examples of low-cost business design profit. Traditional furniture retailers relied on large showroom sales, staff delivery, and assembly services, all of which added significant costs. Customers paid higher prices because of this structure. IKEA completely reimagined the model. Instead of showrooms, they use big warehouse style stores where customers pick products directly instead of fully assembled furniture. IKEA created flat pack designs, easy to transport, cheaper to ship, and assembled by customers themselves. And by reducing staff assistance and logistics, they eliminated the big overhead costs. The impact is huge. IKEA's cost per unit is far lower than traditional players, which allows them to price products affordably while still maintaining healthy profitability. This design also gives them scale. Millions of customers worldwide can access stylish furniture at low prices, yet IKEA still sustains strong margins. The key lesson from IKEA is that fundamentally rethinking the business model, not just cutting costs, but redesigning how the product reaches the customer, a company can achieve both affordability for customers and profitability for itself. Thank you.